Everyone is chasing perfection. Perfect face. Perfect body. Perfect English. Perfect life. And slowly, without even noticing, they become someone else. Someone not real. Someone afraid. And maybe you felt it too. That pressure. That fear. That voice inside, whispering, "You're not enough." Today, you're going to see why that voice is lying. Meet Daniel. 23 years old, living in a small, rented room, in a busy city. A room with a bed, a table, a chair, and a single mirror on the wall. Every morning, Daniel wakes up at 7 a.m. And the first thing he does is look in the mirror. But he doesn't see himself. He sees flaws. Problems. My face isn't good enough. My body, not strong enough. My English sounds weak. I am not confident. Day after day, Daniel starts his morning by criticizing himself. He changes shirts over and over, not to look good, but to avoid judgment. Every word, every smile, every step, carefully measured. Because inside, one voice dominates. Don't make a mistake. Daniel is not lazy. He works hard. Studies videos. Practices English. Alone. But the moment he faces real life, everything falls apart. One day, at the office, his manager asks, "Daniel, can you explain this report in English?" Daniel knows the answer. He understood it. He practiced it. But when he stands up, his mind freezes. Words disappear. Heart racing. Hands cold. He opens his mouth. And nothing comes out. The room is silent. Everyone is watching. Not laughing. Just waiting. But in Daniel's mind, it feels like judgment. Like shame. Like failure. Finally, his manager says, "It's okay, sit down." And in that moment, something breaks inside Daniel. If you've ever felt like Daniel, frozen, afraid, judged, take a moment and hit that like button. And while you're here, subscribe, because his story might just change how you see yourself. That night, Daniel sits alone. Lights off. Phone in hand, but not scrolling. Just thinking. Over and over. Why didn't I speak? Why am I like this? Why can't I be normal? Then, slowly, the thoughts grow heavier. I am not confident, not smart, not good enough. And then, the most dangerous thought. Maybe I will never change. That one sentence can destroy a person. Daniel believed he had to be perfect before he could speak. Before he could try. Before he could act. But life doesn't work that way. You start first. And then, slowly, you become better. And while he waits, life keeps passing. One night, Daniel stands in front of the mirror. His reflection, the same. But he doesn't speak. Eyes tired. Face silent. And suddenly, in frustration, he hits the mirror. Crack. A line appears. The mirror is broken. And for the first time, he sees himself differently. Not just his face. Not just flaws. But truth. Broken. Imperfect. Scared. And he whispers, slowly, "I am tired of trying to be perfect." The night Daniel broke the mirror, it wasn't just glass that shattered. Something inside him cracked too. And now, he had no place to hide. No distractions. No excuses. Just himself. staring back. In broken pieces. Usually, whenever Daniel felt uncomfortable, he would run. Scroll his phone. Watch a video. Anything, to escape his own mind. But that night, the silence was louder than fear itself. And something whispered, "Don't run this time." Minutes pass. 1 hour. And slowly, memories start surfacing. A memory of being 12. In school, trying to read in English. One small mistake. A few classmates laughed. Not loudly, but enough to break him inside. That was the first time he felt not enough. And from that day, he became careful. Careful with his words. Careful with his actions. Careful with everything. Just to avoid that feeling of shame. And that carefulness became his identity. A habit. A shield against the world. But it was also a trap. Daniel realizes something that night. Something most people never see. He wasn't afraid of mistakes. He was afraid of feeling embarrassed. And to avoid that, he told himself, "I will only act when I'm perfect." Sounds safe, right? But it's deadly. Because when you only act, when you feel perfect, you stop acting altogether. Daniel had been waiting for a version of himself that didn't exist. He looks at the cracked mirror. Pieces reflecting different emotions. One piece, anger. Another, fear. Another, exhaustion. And for the first time, he doesn't look away. He sees it clearly. My English, broken. But I can still speak. My confidence, broken. But I can still try. My life, broken. But I can still move forward. And in that moment, Daniel doesn't try to fix himself. He tries to accept himself. To finally stop hating what he sees. To stop running. And just be real. If Daniel's struggle feels familiar, pause for a moment. Hit that like button. And subscribe to follow this journey. Because the story is about to get even more intense. That night, he doesn't make big promises. No declarations. No, "I will be perfect tomorrow." Instead, he says, quietly, "Tomorrow, I will try, once. Just once. Not perfectly. Not confidently. Just honestly." That small decision is more powerful than any big promise he's ever made. The next morning, he wakes up. Same room. Same broken mirror. Same fears. But inside, something has shifted. He stands. Breathes slowly. And remembers. I will try, just once. The world is the same. People are talking, walking, living. But Daniel carries a secret. Courage, not born overnight, but built, piece by piece. In the silence of one broken night, he goes to work. Usually, this part of the day drags him down. Dressing carefully, checking, rechecking. Living in fear of judgment. But today, he chooses not perfection. Just honesty. He picks a simple shirt. Looks once in the mirror. And stops. His heart pounding. But he doesn't run. As he enters the office, the world feels the same. But inside, Daniel's mind is screaming. What if I fail again? What if people laugh again? What if I'm still the same? And then, the moment comes. One simple question from a colleague. that could break him. Or, finally, show him what he's capable of. The morning feels heavier than usual. Daniel walks into the office. Every step, louder in his head than in reality. His hands, cold. Heart, pounding. Mind, screaming. You're not ready. You will fail. Don't do it. But then, a memory hits him. The broken mirror. The moment he whispered, "I will try once." And that, tiny decision, becomes a lifeline, pulling him forward. A colleague approaches. Calmly, innocently. "Daniel, can you explain this report?" Simple words. But for Daniel, this is the storm. Heart races. Mind freezes. Voice trembles. The old fear, roaring. Before, he would have stayed silent. Pretended he didn't know. Hidden. Avoided the judgment. Protected himself from humiliation. But today, he remembers. I will try, just once. He takes a slow breath. Stands. And begins. I think this part shows. His voice shakes. He stumbles. Pauses. Corrects himself. Small mistakes. Small pauses. But he keeps going. Eyes on him. People listening. Not laughing. Not judging. Just listening. Every word, a tiny victory. Every pause, a small courage. Building, inside, slowly. For the first time, Daniel realizes something crucial. Confidence does not come first. It comes after action. All these years, he waited. For courage, for perfection, before trying. But courage is born in the act. Not before it. Even broken, even scared. He can still move forward. Even imperfect. He can still speak. And today, that's enough. If you feel that fear too. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment. Hit that like button. And subscribe. Because Daniel's journey is far from over. And the next chapter will test him even more. The report explanation continues. He pauses. He thinks. He stumbles. But he doesn't stop. His sentences aren't perfect. Grammar isn't flawless. Voice shakes. Heart pounds. Yet, he continues. Each word, a small triumph. Each sentence, a step closer to freedom from fear. When he finishes, there's silence. A single nod. A colleague says, "That makes sense." No laughter. No judgment. Just understanding. And for Daniel, that moment feels like victory. But the journey isn't over. The real test, the real transformation, is just beginning. Days passed. Weeks passed. But Daniel's life didn't suddenly change. He didn't wake up fully confident. Fluent. Perfect. Nothing magical happened. The world remained the same. But something, inside him, had shifted. The fear, the old habit, didn't disappear. The trembling, the self-doubt, still came. But now, he stopped running. He stopped hiding. And slowly, he started living. In truth. At work, he spoke. Even when his voice shook. Even when he forgot a word. Even when mistakes happened. He didn't stop. Not because he became fearless. But because he became persistent. Step by step. Moment by moment. And each small attempt slowly built courage. And here's the secret. People noticed. Not because he was perfect. Not because he spoke flawless English. Not because he had confidence on command. They noticed. Because he was real. He was trying. Even when it was hard. Even when he was scared. One evening, Daniel stands in front of the broken mirror again. The crack, still there. Reflection, still imperfect. But now, he sees something different. Growth, not outside, but inside. A quiet strength. A truth he finally understands. I am not perfect. And I don't need to be. He whispers to himself. I wasted so much time chasing perfection. But life begins the moment I accept who I really am. If Daniel's journey feels like yours, pause this video. Hit that like button. And subscribe. Because your own story, your own transformation, can start today. Weeks later, another presentation. Bigger audience. More pressure. His heart, racing. Mind, whispering, you can't do this. But Daniel doesn't listen. He remembers the broken mirror. The one small decision. I will try, once. And now, he's not just trying once. He's doing it, again and again. Even when scared. Even when imperfect. Even when unsure. He speaks. Pauses. Makes small mistakes. Corrects himself. Keeps going. And something magical happens. People listen. People connect. Not because he's perfect. But because he's human. Because he's real. Because he didn't stop. Even when fear said, stop. This is the power of action over perfection. The courage to try. Even when scared. Even when broken. Even when life feels heavy. That courage creates real growth. Real connection. Real life. Remember. Nobody is perfect. Not your English. Not your confidence. Not your life. And that's the gift. Because you still have a chance. A chance to start. A chance to try. A chance to be real. Not perfect. Your life changes. Not when you become perfect. But when you stop chasing perfection. When you embrace your fear. When you embrace your mistakes. When you embrace yourself. This is your moment. And it begins today.